On this 2004 Subaru Forester. Here's a quick inventory of the tools I'm going to use. This is just a T30 Torx bit socket, 3/8 inch drive. I got that at Home Depot. This is to remove the airbag. It's like that star fitting. I got a little extender, 3-inch extension for the ratchet. A 10mm wrench. This is to disconnect the positive of the battery before we do anything. Here's my ratchet, 3/8 size for the extension, and then the Torx bit will go on top of that. I got a marker to mark the direction of the wheel once we get it off. Got some tape to just secure the clock spring inside. Not necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. We also need a 17mm socket, which I don't have at the moment, but I'll grab that. And that's going to remove the bolt, which will be here, from the current wheel. And this is my replacement wheel, which I found on eBay. From what I understand, you have to be careful. 2003, 2004 is okay. 2005, I think they changed the type of the steering wheel a little bit, or the design, so the airbag, which I'm going to remove and reuse, wouldn't fit in here. So you want to just make sure if you find something, it's the right fit. So in the current one, the reason I'm replacing the current wheel is this part right here broke. This bit right here, and possibly down here, so this whole steering wheel part comes loose. Not here, like the steering wheel is not jiggling around, but this part here actually pulls back. The steering wheel is a little bit floppy, so we're going to take care of that. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to disconnect the negative terminal connection on the battery, and again, this is the 10mm bolt. Steering wheel, our current setup, and I'll show you. This is why I'm replacing it. This, see how that moves? It's a lot of movement. Actually, when you pull on it, the horn sounds. So that part that I pointed to in the replacement wheel is broken in here. So the first thing we're going to do, like I said, we're honking the horn, nothing's going. We disconnected the battery. Car's dead. You want to make sure that's the case. Then we're going to take our Torx fixture and we're going to loosen that guy. And on the other side, there's another one right here. So we're going to do that, and that should loosen this airbag fixture. So I did the Torx connections, and as you can see, this part right in here, there's a crack. So whoever was pulling on this wheel, maybe to help get into the car, it actually broke the wheel. So that's why we're replacing that. So the steering wheel, the airbag part came out. What I'm going to do next is disconnect that. It looks like I have to squeeze that little clip, and this connection here, this yellow part just pops up. I'll get a very thin screwdriver or something. This pops up. That's the lock. You want to be careful with that. So next, this is going to come out, and this is going to come out. So now, sorry, I won't get as many action shots. I'm doing all the, I'm trying to hold the camera and do this carefully, so I'll just explain it. After you get the airbag off, we talked about what has to be disconnected. So you have to take off this lock here, this yellow clip, and I just used like a sharp pick kind of instrument, and you pick it up here and you just kind of pull this yellow bit up that locks it in or unlocks it, and then we're going to pry this part off here. That's how we're going to disconnect this. Be careful with that bit. And then to reverse it, it's the same thing. This yellow bit, I'll show you, just clicks down, so that's back on. And then get it up. Again, I can't do it because it's one-handed, but you're basically going to pry this up. You're not ripping it off, it just comes up a couple millimeters, and that's enough. So as you can see, here's the here's the lock in the up position. It's just a couple millimeters. That's all you want to do. And then you're going to take this and kind of pry this black connector off. So I gone ahead and this guy just wiggled off, no problems. This just slid out, this other electrical connector. Basically I just pulled it out. I used a little screwdriver to help pry it out, but they disconnected. So the next step will be we're going to loosen this. This is a 17 millimeter bolt. Alright, so I was able to break the nut with this setup, a little extension, 17 millimeter wrench, 17 millimeter socket, and as you see, it's now nice and loose. Steering wheel can probably come off. Now, I've seen it recommended that you don't pull this off all the way, you just kind of loosen it up, because you might have to pull on the steering wheel to loosen it. You don't want the steering wheel flying off into your face. So this bolt, just loosen it, leave it on, and sort of dislodge the steering wheel first. Once it's loose, then you can go in here and take off the whole thing. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to loosen this a couple turns, jiggle around the steering wheel. Yeah, like that's not moving right now. So I'm going to have to work on this, but I'm leaving this on. I'm also wearing safety glasses just in case, but you might want to do that too. Alright, so I got the steering wheel off, and it did take a little bit of effort. I didn't smash myself, but this part here, when I was pulling on it, actually cracked. So this steering wheel is pretty much garbage because it's cracked in the original spot, and I broke it some more when I was pulling it off. Apparently this is kind of soft metal, so this thing's ready for the trash. What we're looking at here though is this is where I put the tape, just in case. This is kind of loose, this thing. It didn't spin or anything, but I'm not taking any chances. This is that clock spring apparatus. As you can see, there's the down arrow, sorry, which I added to with my line. Sorry again, allergies. And you can see there's a top arrow as well. So I think as long as that's aligned correctly, you should be in good shape. But I just took a little piece of tape to hold it while I was messing around with other things, just to make sure nothing happens with this. So now we'll reverse the process. We'll get the replacement steering wheel, which I found on eBay for about 40 bucks. And we'll see how that goes. Alright, so the replacement wheel is on. It's kind of hard to screw it up, actually, I've just realized, because there's pegs on the clock spring. I didn't notice it until I was putting it back on. So you have to align these two pegs. I mean, you can't get this thing on wrong. Obviously you have the bolt to go back on, you feed the wire through here. I think the main thing is, in regards to this clock spring, is that it doesn't spin around at all while you have the steering wheel off, because I guess if it spins, it'll break. But if you keep it aligned correctly and it doesn't spin anywhere, you can't you can't get this thing on wrong. There's only one way to do it, so that's good. I also checked the steering wheel before I put it in. It doesn't have any breaks, anything like that. It's in good shape even though it's used, and it's identical to one that I just pulled out, except without any of the broken stuff. So let's go. So I put the 17 millimeter bolt back on. I just did it, I don't know what the torque specifications are, I just did it as tight as I possibly could with human power. That thing is not going anywhere. Reconnected the, I believe that's probably for the cruise control, and then this got seated back on, and we're going to just push down that little lock, and it's ready to go. Now the airbag will be going back in place, and we'll retighten these T30 torque screws, reattach the battery, and we should be back in business. Let's see how it goes. Well, it's on. Looks pretty good, considering. The torque screw, I just did it hand tight, and now if I pull on this sucker, that's good. Airbag's in. Got some horn action. I mean, I didn't reconnect the battery yet, but it feels pretty good. So next is reconnecting the battery, and we'll see if this thing blows up on us. All right, so the battery's been reconnected. We're going to give it a turn. There you go. Radio, everything. And I'd like to say, if you like this video, do me a favor, like it, put some comments in, suggestions to make it easier. Otherwise, have a great day. 2004 Subaru Forester, new steering wheel.